What's up, YouTube? So before we get started with this video, on ESPN NBA, I'm going to be going over the Los Angeles Clippers. So I'm going to go over a little bit of what happened at the beginning of this year. I'm going to go over what's happening now, and I'm going to go over what happened when the playoffs start for the Clippers, which I think starts next month in July. So let's start out with looking at the standings. Let's take a look at the NBA standings for this year. So let's scroll on down to the Western Conference. So the first thing that jumps out at me is the LA Clippers are in second place. In first place is going to be the LA Lakers. So the LA Clippers are 44-20. They are 5.5 games behind the Lakers. So behind the LA Clippers are going to be Denver, Utah, OKC, Houston, Dallas, Memphis. So let's take a quick look. I feel pretty strong that whoever comes out of the West to represent the finals is going to be one of the LA teams. It's going to be either Lakers or the Clippers. You know, Denver's strong. Utah's got Donovan Mitchell, OKC, Houston, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Dallas, Luka Doncic. Yeah, so I feel pretty strong that whoever's going to be representing the West is going to be coming out of LA. So let's take a good look at, or direct look at the LA Clippers. Take a look at the Clippers schedule this year. So in game one, that was a huge game. Obviously, they beat the LA Lakers. That was a huge game because not only does that set the tone for the season, but it sets the tone for the series between the Clippers and the Lakers. It sets the tone between Kawhi Leonard and LeBron James. It sets the tone between two of the best duos in the league right now, and LeBron James and Anthony Davis and Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, even though Paul George didn't play. This sets the tone for so many things, and the Clippers got it done. So some people like to cry that the Lakers they need time to gel with each other, learn how to play with each other, but you can't really use that as an excuse because Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and Patrick Beverley and all those guys, they never played with each other either. But Kawhi Leonard was still able to pull it off. And Kawhi Leonard, like I said, he pretty much did it by himself. Paul George wasn't playing, so it was just him, Patrick Beverley, and the boys. And the Lakers were fully loaded. They had LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Dwight Howard, Kyle Kuzma, and a couple other guys that they were running on all cylinders. There's no excuse. Nobody was injured. There's nothing. Everybody's on the same page, and Kawhi Leonard was able to get it done. So that was huge to set the tone. So in the next game, the second game, they play against Golden State Warriors. They beat them, which is understandable because Golden State Warriors is definitely rebuilding right now. They lost to Phoenix. I think that loss is because Kawhi Leonard was probably low managing already at that point in time. So they beat Charlotte. They lost to Utah. So Utah's in fourth spot right now, and Donovan Mitchell has something to say about that. So they beat San Antonio. San Antonio's having some problems this year. They beat Utah. So Utah definitely, they're in the fourth spot right now. Yeah, fourth spot. Then they lost to Milwaukee, the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis Antetokounmpo is looking for MVP and a championship. They're ranked first overall. They beat Portland. They beat Toronto. That's a big win. Toronto is in second spot right now in the Eastern Conference. They lost to Houston. The Houston Rockets, Russell Westbrook and James Harden. That was a big win because Houston's in sixth spot. New Orleans, they lost to New Orleans. Again, I think that's probably has to do with Kawhi Leonard might be on load management. And I don't think Zion Williamson was there at that point in time. So you have Atlanta. They beat Atlanta. They beat OKC. OKC, is the fifth spot. So they beat OKC. Oh, God, where am I at? Lost my spot. Oh, and they beat Boston. Boston, that's huge. They're in the third spot right now. Then they beat Houston again in the sixth spot. They beat New Orleans. They beat Dallas. So Luka Doncic had something to say, but it wasn't enough. Memphis with Ja Morant, didn't have enough, but they still got, the Clippers still got them. Then they lost to San Antonio, which I don't know why they lost to lose to San Antonio. So Washington, Portland won. They lost to Milwaukee again, which is understandable because, again, Milwaukee's number one. Washington, Indiana's in the fifth spot in the East. Toronto, another big win in the second spot. Minnesota, I forgot where they're at. I'm going to have to check out where they're at. The Chicago, they shouldn't have lost to Chicago. Phoenix, they beat. Then Houston, they lost to Houston again. Then San Antonio, and then they lost to OKC. Then they lost to the Lakers again. So that's going to be the second time they beat the Lakers. So they're 2-0 against the Lakers. And again, LeBron James did not show up. Paul George didn't show up. Kawhi Leonard came in, took care of business again. So that's huge because not only did Kawhi Leonard win again, I can't remember if Paul George was there again or not. I can't remember. But whatever it is, obviously you can see Kawhi Leonard got 35 points, so he definitely put in work. And regardless, that's a second win against the guy that's supposed to be, the king of LA and run the shop in LA. And so far, he's been getting beat up by the defending champion, defending Finals MVP, and Kawhi Leonard. So LeBron James hasn't had much luck against Kawhi Leonard up until this point. So moving on, they lost to Utah, which Utah's in the fourth spot right now, which I think at that game, Kawhi Leonard was probably load managing after, taking care of business against the Lakers the night before or the day before. Sacramento beat Detroit, lost to Memphis, so Ja Morant had something to say about that. That man should be Rookie of the Year and not Zion Williamson because he's consistent the whole year. Obviously, they're going to beat the Knicks. Golden State Warriors, obviously going to beat them. They're rebuilding. So Denver Nuggets, they lost to the Nuggets. Nuggets are in third spot right now. Beat Cleveland, Orlando, New Orleans, Dallas. I actually go back to New Orleans. I think Zion Wilson might have been playing at that point in time. I can't quite remember, but I think that he was playing at that point in time. So Dallas, Luka Doncic had something to say about it, but it wasn't enough. So we have Atlanta, Miami, that's a big move against Miami because Miami's definitely been making some moves this year. So they're in the fourth spot. Yeah, they definitely make some big moves. Jimmy Butler and company definitely been taking care of business. Then they beat Orlando. So Orlando is in, I forgot where they're at. And as far as the next time they played LA, I don't want to talk about that because that's going to ruin my day, the reason why they didn't play. And then they lost to Sacramento, Minnesota, San Antonio Spurs, Miami. They beat them again. Wow, huh? Interesting. Then they lost to Minnesota, beat Cleveland. Then they lost to the Philadelphia 76ers. So Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons put in work. Then they lost to Boston. So Boston's in the third place. So Jason Tatum had something to say about that. And then they lost to Sacramento. So those are two big losses back to back against some pretty good teams with the Philadelphia 76ers and Boston Celtics. So moving on, they beat Memphis, Phoenix, Denver again. Wow, Denver's ranked third right now, so that was a big win. And they beat 76ers again. That was another big win. They beat OKC. That's another big win, top 5. Then they beat Houston again. That's top 6 right there. And then they lost to LA. So talk about a wrench in the machine. So they have a 6 game winning streak until they come up against the Lakers and get beat up. So this is huge because what this is the second to the last game before the quarantine starts. And so that means they're going to have to sit on that loss from the Lakers until the next time they play against each other, which probably, we know at this point, it won't be until they meet in the playoffs. But that's pretty serious right there. That's going to leave a nasty taste in the Clippers' mouth. Although you can look at it another way and say that the Clippers are up 2-1 in this series between the Lakers and the Clippers. But still, you don't want to have that be your last loss and the second to your last loss before the quarantine goes in there, and you have to keep thinking about that loss and that L that you had to take. And then the next game they beat the Golden State Warriors, which is understandable because they're definitely in a rebuilding phase. But again, and then it's the quarantine. But then again, like I said, that LA Lakers loss, you do not want to go into a quarantine or any type of break with a loss because that ruins your momentum and everything. So, I don't know. I still look at the season. You can't really judge too much on this record because you have to remember that Kawhi Leonard has done a lot of load management. So it's kind of hard to gauge, if they lost to a good team or lost to a bad team. Why is that? You might want to start splitting hairs and figure out who was playing, who wasn't playing. But you could look at it another way and say that, they were low management and not going full speed, and they're still in second place. So what are they, 5.5 games behind the number 1 spot in the LA Lakers, and they haven't even been going full speed? So that's another indicator that there's a lot more left. There's a lot of basketball left to be played when everybody puts it all on the line. So, I don't know. That's a quick look at the schedule and what was going on for this year. So let's take a quick look at the Clippers' stats for this year. First, I'm going to go over overall team stats. So the Clippers have the fourth overall offense at this point in time. So they've been averaging 116 points a game, 89 field goal attempts with 41 made out of those 89 field goal attempts with a field goal percentage of 46%. They've been averaging 33 three-point attempts a game, and they've made 12 out of those 33 three-point attempts a game. They've been averaging 48 rebounds, 7 steals, and 5 blocks. So needless to say, the Clippers have a pretty good offense. I think the offense might be a little bit better on paper than the LA Lakers. So let's keep moving on. So let's take a quick look at the overall defense for the Clippers. So the Clippers had the 13th overall defense in the league at this point in time, and they've been giving up 109 points. The opponents being able to get 90 field goal attempts, and they made 39 out of those 90 field goal attempts with the field goal percentage of 43%. Their opponents have been able to throw 35 three-point attempts, and they've made 12 out of those 35 three-point attempts with the three-point percentage of 34%. They've been giving up 45 rebounds, 23 assists, 8 steals, and 5 blocks. So the Clippers have an alright defense. Their defense is pretty good. I think they can probably do a little bit better. And I'm kind of surprised if the defense is better or the offense is better than their defense, because primarily they look like they would be a very strong defensive team, even though the 13th ranked defense in the league is still pretty good. Also considering, if you want to split hairs, that not everybody's been playing every game and going full speed. Kawhi Leonard. So that might jump up their percentages a little bit more. But overall, the Clippers have, pretty good stats. So the 4th overall offense in NBA right now, which is great, and the 13th overall defense in the league right now. So that's pretty good too. So let's get into the player stats. Let's take a quick look at the individual player stats for the Clippers this year. So the first thing that stands out to me for the team leaders: Kawhi Leonard leading in points, Kawhi Leonard leading in rebounds, Lou Williams leading in assists, Kawhi Leonard leading in steals, and Montrezl Harrell leading in blocks. So let's take a quick look at Kawhi Leonard real quick. So as expected, the Claw's balling out of control. So he's averaging 27 points a game. That's 8th overall for players. 7 rebounds. That's 29th overall for players. 5 assists. That's 37th overall for players. And his PER is at 26.76. That's 5th overall for players. So Kawhi Leonard is balling out of control. He's doing all this, and he's missed like 13 games. So he's definitely taking care of business. We're not seeing everything that Kawhi Leonard has, although I don't necessarily agree with the load management, especially so early in the season. So let's take a quick look at some of these last games that he had. So obviously they're going to beat the Golden State Warriors because those guys are rebuilding, and they're going through a rebuilding phase. But I would like to focus on this LA Lakers game. So that's, let's see how many points he had. So he had 27 points, 1 block, 2 rebounds. So, yeah, they definitely lost that game against the Lakers. So that makes them 2-1 in a series with the Lakers at this point in time. So you never want to have in a series you wind up with the last game before you go into a quarantine and before you go into any type of break. So that means the Clippers and Kawhi Leonard is definitely going to have to sit on this until they play the Lakers again, which is not good. But then again, like I said, you can look at that. They're 2-1 in a series. But again, that has to linger on the mind of Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers that they lost to the Lakers. Now, I don't know if, Kawhi may not have been going full speed or what happened during that game, but you definitely don't want that. So other than that, let's take a look at his stats for this year compared to his career. So he's averaging, 27 points a game, 18 is his career average. So he's doing pretty good. He's pretty much above his average, his career average. Not in blocks so much. Assists, yes. Rebounds, definitely, yeah. So Kawhi Leonard is still doing pretty good. He's balling out of control. And mind you, he's missed 13 games. So that's definitely going to boost up his averages if he played more games. So this is a good look at Kawhi Leonard. Let's go back. Next up, let's take a look at Paul George. Let's definitely take him out because he's got the second in points. So Paul George is putting up 21 points a game, 5.7 rebounds, 3.9 assists, and his PR is at 20.51. So that's pretty good. Paul George is definitely carrying his weight and trying to make a strong push to get in the ring this year. So let's take a quick look at his last couple of games. So obviously Golden State, they're going to be Golden State. So out of the 5 games they played against 4 competitors, the Lakers, Houston, OKC, and Philadelphia. So let's see what the best games were for Paul George. So Paul George, his most points that he got was with the Lakers. Wow, surprisingly, and they still lost. So how you say he had 31 points, 1 block, 3 steals, and 6 rebounds. Yeah, he played pretty good. But it just wasn't enough for going against the Lakers. So again, that he's gonna have to sit with that nasty taste in the mouth for losing to the Lakers. Now I know, like I said, they're 2-1 in the series, but you don't want that. You don't want to go into any type of break with the L. So they beat Houston, so that's pretty good. Houston's like ranked, 56 right now. So Paul George got 13 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists. So that was an okay game against Houston. Let's see how they did against OKC. He had 16 points, 5 rebounds. Let's see how he did against the 76ers. So he put up 24 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, and 2 steals against Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. So that's another one. So I don't know. You can kind of look at it like, so the past 3 games before they played the Lakers with Houston, OKC, and Philadelphia were some major competitors. They beat them, but then they go and lose to the number 1 team in the conference and the number 1 team, or the number 2 team overall, and the LA Lakers. So I don't know if that evens it out, but you definitely don't want to have that loss. But I am glad they did beat Houston, OKC, and Philadelphia before taking that L before Golden State and then the quarantine. So that's a pretty good look at Paul George. Paul George is doing his thing. And again, his numbers could probably fluctuate a little bit more too. I think he's missed a couple games. I know he missed the first game when they played against the Lakers and Kawhi Leonard took care of business and beat the Lakers down pretty much by himself with Patrick Beverley and a couple other guys. So this is a good look at Paul George. So let's go back. Okay, so let's take a look at Lou Williams. How's Lou Williams? So Lou Williams is putting up 18.7 points a game. That's 44th overall for players. 3.1 rebounds. That's 150 plus. That's nothing. 5.7 assists. That's 24th overall. I definitely take that. And his PR is 17.25. That's 78th overall. So really stands out is that assist. He's 24th overall, and he's leading the team in assists. So Lou Williams is definitely taking care of business. He's definitely pulling his weight. So I like to look at his regular season and then his career averages. So he's 18 points. He's doing good there, above his career averages. Blocks is the same. Assists is doing very well. 5.7 versus 3.5 career. He's up there in rebounds, 3.1 versus 2.3 in the career average. Free throw percentage, 3-point percentage, field goal percentage. Field goal percentage is a little bit down, 41 to compared to 42 in his career. So I would definitely take that. And his minutes are up too, 29 versus 24 in his career. So he's definitely doing his thing. So let's take a quick look at his past 5 games. When he lost to the Lakers, how did he do? So he had 7 points. How many assists did he have? He had 3 assists and 5 rebounds. Yeah, I'd expect more. I definitely expect more. So they beat Houston, OKC, Philadelphia, and Denver, the 4 games we played before that. So let's see how we did against Houston. Houston had 5 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Nah, not too good. Against OKC, had 14 points, 2 rebounds, and 4 assists. I'll take that. I'll definitely take that. That's a decent win against OKC. And then what his best game of the last 5 is going to be against, who was that? So the Philadelphia 76ers, he had 24 points, 8 assists, and 2 rebounds. So that's against Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. I'll definitely take that. And then they played Denver, beat Denver. He had 17 points, 2 rebounds, 7 assists. I'll take that too. So Lou Williams is definitely carrying his weight. He's been a very productive player for the Clippers. He's distributing the ball, as we can see in his assists, with the team high and 24th overall. I definitely take that. And I take these 18 points a game too, 44th overall in the league. So I'll definitely take that. So Lou Williams is definitely taking care of business. So let's go back. Okay, so we checked out Lou Williams. Let's go with Montreal Harrell. Let's see what this guy's up to. So Montreal Harrell pulling his weight, he's getting 18 points a game, 45th overall, 7 rebounds, 34th overall, assist, 149th overall, 1. His PER is 23.17, 15th overall. So I would definitely take those numbers from Montreal Harrell. Definitely take those numbers. So let's see how he did in the last 5 games. So against Golden State Warriors, obviously they won. Let's see how he did. He had 14 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. I'll take that. I'll definitely take that. Hold on, let me see how he's doing. What was his number one stat here? So that would be BR. No, I thought it was something else, blocks or something. Nah. So okay, let's keep looking at how he did. Let's see how he did against the Lakers. So the Lakers, he put up 20 points, with 8 rebounds, 2 blocks, 1 assist. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And again, they still lost, so he's gonna have to sit with that nasty taste in his mouth with that loss against the Lakers. But again, they beat Houston, OKC, and Philadelphia before that. So let's see how we did against those games. So what is this against OKC? No, against Houston, he had 19 points, 10 rebounds, and 2 blocks. I'll take that from him. And in a win against OKC, he had 16 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist. Yeah, that's okay. So who's this against Philadelphia? He had 24 points, 9 rebounds. I would definitely take that against Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. Those are 2 big monsters in there he's battling with, but he's a monster himself. So let's take a look at his season averages versus career average. So he's up on points. Let's see. Steals is the same. He's up on blocks a little bit. He's up on assists. He's high up on rebounds versus his career average. Yeah, he's definitely up there. So he's definitely working hard. His field goal percentage is down quite a bit, or I mean, it's down a little bit. So and his minutes are up too. So, needless to say, Montreal Harrell is definitely pulling his weight. I'm happy he's here. He's doing a good job, and he's definitely going to be a part that's needed in fighting for the West. So let's go back. So who else should we go here? Let's go check out Marcus Morris Sr. Let's see what he's up to. So Marcus Morris is taking care of business too. He's averaging 17 points a game. That's 55th overall. 5 rebounds. That's 84th overall. 1 assist, 150th overall. And his PER is 14.8. That's 119th overall. So I'll definitely take Mr. Marcus Morris's stats. He's another big man in there that is not afraid to get physical. So let's take a quick look at his last 5 games. Golden State, he had 9 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Okay. Against the Lakers, didn't do so well and had 1 point. He had 6 rebounds, 1 steal. So let's see. His best game was against, who's that? Houston? Yeah, so his best game was against Houston. He had 11 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. Okay, let's see. And that's pretty much it for him. OKC had 8 points and 5 rebounds. And then against Philadelphia, he had 9 points and 2 rebounds. So Marcus Morris is definitely needed. He's more of a big man, a big body in there with an enforcer type attitude that's definitely going to, get physical in the paint for them, which they're going to need against the LA Lakers when they play them again. So, yeah, let's go back. Okay, so who are we going to see next? Let's take a look at the pest, Mr. Patrick Beverley. Where's Mr. Patrick Beverley at? Check out the pest. So Mr. Patrick Beverley, his stats don't necessarily show what he means to the Clippers and what he provides. So he's averaging, almost 8 points a game, 150th overall, 5 rebounds, that's 76th overall, 3.7 assists, that's 59th overall, and his PR is 12.34, 150th overall. So Patrick Beverley is a defensive specialist. So a lot of the stuff that he does isn't really going down on paper. So let's take a quick look at his work on paper. So obviously to be Golden State, how many points did he? Oh, he really balled out against Golden State Warriors. So he got 15 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. So that's not saying much against the Golden State Warriors because they're obviously rebuilding. So let's see how he did against the Lakers. Didn't do too good. 2 points, 4 rebounds. Yeah, so that's nobody really. Let's see how he did against Houston. 5 points, 4 rebounds against OKC, 3 points, and against Philadelphia, He had 0 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists. So yeah, Patrick Beverley is one of those guys that his stats don't necessarily reflect what he does, but he's a defensive specialist that will not hesitate to get physical and to get into the head of his opponents, like he did Kevin Durant last year in the playoffs. Absolutely tore up Kevin Durant for 2 games in the playoffs last year. But Patrick Beverley is just overall, he's a good defensive guy that you want on your team. That's definitely gonna his defensive specialties are gonna definitely be needed when it gets to the point fighting for the West. So let's go back. So who we're gonna look at now? So let's take a look at. I think that's probably about it. So we should probably go to. Yeah, I think that's about it. Lou Williams, Gerald, Kawhi Leonard. Yeah, so let's go over to. We should probably check out the depth chart. Yeah, let's check out the depth chart. So let's go over the Clippers depth chart real quick. So first off, we have Patrick Beverley. Patrick Beverley is a defensive specialist. He's a pest. He's all over the place. His stats and numbers may not necessarily reflect everything that he does, but he's definitely a contributor to this team, and he's really going to be needed to make that push to the West. So backing him up is going to be Reggie Jackson. I can't believe I forgot to talk about Reggie Jackson. So let's check out Reggie. Yeah, so Reggie Jackson's going to be coming off the bench, backing up Patrick Beverley. So Reggie Jackson's averaging 12.8 points a game, 3 rebounds a game, 4.4 assists, and his PR is 15.08. So Reggie Jackson, I have no problem with him coming off the bench and backing up Patrick Beverley. He can definitely get the job done while Beverley's chilling on the bench. So let's take a quick look at Mr. Reggie Jackson's numbers real quick. So against Golden State, obviously they won. How do you do? So it's 16 points against Golden State. That's not saying much because Golden State's rebuilding right now. So against the loss against the Lakers, had 8 points, 3 rebounds, 0 assists. So his best game would be against the Golden State Warriors. And after that, be against the Philadelphia 76ers. So Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons and company had 13 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists and 2 blocks. So I guess I'll take that. Yeah, so I don't have a problem with Reggie Jackson coming off the bench and backing up Patrick Beverley. He can definitely hold his own and keep the momentum going. So let's go. So next up we have Paul George. Paul George is definitely taking care of business this year. He's one of the best. He's part of one of the best duos in the NBA right now between him and Kawhi Leonard. So there's nothing too much to say about him. Who's taking care of business. Kawhi Leonard, obviously, he's a defending champion and the defending Finals MVP. So everything that goes along with Kawhi Leonard, he's a baller. There's not too much to say about him because he's taking care of business. Even though he has some great numbers, and he has the Clippers in second place in the West, and I think the 4th overall in league. Because I think it goes Milwaukee Bucks, then I think it goes Toronto Raptors. No, it goes Milwaukee Bucks, LA Lakers, Toronto Raptors, and then I think it's LA Clippers in the 4th spot overall. So they're doing all that with Kawhi Leonard has been low managing. That's kind of scary right there. They're in 4th place overall and 2nd place in the West with Kawhi Leonard low managing. Paul George has missed some games. So that just means that there's a lot more basketball to be played, and you haven't quite seen everything yet. So next off, we're going to talk about Marcus Morris Sr. So he was newly acquired. He's definitely going to be another big man that we need in the paint, getting physical, and just being bothersome, just like the pest. So he's definitely going to be needed. And then we have Ivica Zubac. So he's the 7-footer. He's going to be taking care of business in the paint with him and Montreal. So let's take a look. Yeah, so he's putting up 8 points, 150 overall rebounds, 31st overall in rebounds. I'll take that with 7.2, 1.1 assists, and his PERs for 21, 29th overall. So I'll take that, especially those rebounds, 31 or 31st overall rebounds. I'll definitely take that. So see how we did against Golden State, 34 points, 12 rebounds against Golden State. I'll take that. 7 rebounds against the Lakers, the Lakers lost. So he had 5 points and rebounds. Okay, so how do you do against, Houston? So Houston, he had 17 points, 12 rebounds. So he had a good game. Definitely 1 block. He definitely had a good game. Who was this against? OKC at 9 points, 5 rebounds too. And then against Philadelphia 76ers with the other big men, Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons. He had 4 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. Okay, so I don't have a problem with Mr. Zubac. especially if you're jumping up there and getting those boards. Definitely, I can definitely run with that. So let's go back. So for the most part, this pretty much wraps up everything about the LA Clippers I like to talk about. I talked about what's happening earlier in the year. I talked about what's presently happening, and I went over, what should happen in the playoffs coming up, I think next month. So for the most part, the Clippers are in great shape. They're definitely riding for coming out of the West. So they're currently in second place in the West behind the LA Lakers, who are number one, and they are 2-1 in the series against the LA Lakers. And they are overall in league, they are in fourth place. Number one is the Milwaukee Bucks. Number two is going to be the LA Lakers. Number three is the Toronto Raptors. And number four are the LA Clippers. So they're in a good spot to take care of business. And the scary thing is they haven't really been going full speed. They haven't really been going full speed. Kawhi Leonard's been doing load management. I think he's missed about 13 games out of what? I think they played 64, I think. I'm not too sure. I have to check again. But definitely, the Clippers, we haven't seen the best of the Clippers yet. We definitely have not seen the best of the Clippers. So it'll be interesting to see what else happens when the year continues. It's going to continue into the playoffs. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. So I guess that's it.